Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining this new format. It's very ambitious, this 10-minute Monday, because we're going to try to master airborne allergies, the three most important supplements for fast management of airborne allergies. And most of you listening have probably used these at one point or another, but I guarantee you're going to have a deeper appreciation for these guys, how they work, how to know when to use one over the other. So at the time of this recording, we are in the thick of airborne allergy season, the thick layer of pollen on the car, all that fun stuff. So what's stuff that actually works quickly, and why do we even want to use natural over antihistamines like Claritin and things like that? All of those antihistamines eventually are going to take a toll on the liver, the immune system in general. So we want ways that we can reduce histamine, the byproduct of these allergic reactions that makes us miserable, without any extra stress on the body. So these are the big three: Antronix, Allerplex, and in fact, we could say those are the big two that we use 99% of the time, that's all we need to use for airborne allergy relief. But tonight, this might be kind of new to you. We're going to be talking about Allergico. This is an herbal formula. Antronix and Allerplex are nutritional. Allergico is herbal. And I like to think of it as my plan B if my heavy hitters of Antronix and Allerplex aren't producing fast, dramatic airborne allergy relief. And if we had to say the king of all these airborne allergy tools, it is hands down Antronix. This has been around almost 100 years now, this simple formula. And I highlighted really the only ingredient, the main ingredient in this formula is just liver fat extract. This is a bovine beef liver extract. And this is something the Japanese discovered, I believe it was in the 1920s. They called it Yakriton. And Dr. Roy Lee, the founder of Standard Process, found out about it and really wanted to utilize it for airborne allergy relief. This simple liver formula, what it does is basically just opens up the portal vein circulation to the liver, so it helps the liver detox histamine at a faster rate. Again, this is very different than antihistamines, which shut down histamine production. Antronix just helps your liver detox histamine at a faster rate. So it works with the body, not suppressing the body. This is just a phenomenal tool that we use every single day, especially right now in the spring. But a couple quick notes to remember about it. These are the main takeaways about that liver extract that supports liver detox of histamine. This is the most important tool that we have for histamine clearance through the liver. So sneezing, what are the big symptoms of histamine overload? Sneezing, and not just one sneeze, but like sneezing attacks, or consistently every morning you're sneezing, 3 to 4 times right when you wake up, and maybe a couple more times that morning. Itching skin. I remember I had a lady with hives, could not stop itching for like 5 seconds. She just couldn't stop itching. Sent her home with nothing but Antronix, told her to take 3 every half hour, and she called in like 2 hours that there was no more itching. And again, it's magic. It seems like it's magic, but all it's doing is helping the liver clear and detoxify histamine. Our livers are so sluggish in detoxification because of the toxic burden we're under, and Antronix just gives it a nice little nudge to help the liver get rid of histamine faster. Watery eyes, we could say itching eyes too. Many times dry eye, that's a histamine excess symptom many times. And then just that drainage, that clearing of the throat, constantly draining. Those are the big tip-off symptoms of Antronix. And we're going to see in the next couple slides, Allerplex, very close cousin to Antronix. They're very similar, but Allerplex is going to be more coughing and sinus congestion. If allergies are creating coughing and sinus congestion, that's going to be more Allerplex. If it's sneezing, itching skin, watery eyes, drainage, straight to Antronix. So one difference between Antronix and Allerplex is many times the dose is lower for Antronix. Usually 6 tablets is all it takes. I don't know what that average, dose is what I meant to write there. I was like, what is DOE? Average dose for spring allergies but more frequent use, and this is what's so important to remember about both Antranex and Hourplex, when we're in the thick of spring allergies and you're just miserable with whatever histamine symptom that is, you may have to dose higher and you may have to dose more frequently. So something I do for Antranex, if people are just sneezing, itching, watery eyes, miserable, and 6 tablets isn't doing it, you can do 3 tablets every 2 hours. In fact, you could do 3 tablets every hour if you wanted to. There's no danger of overdosing with Antranex, and that's a great luxury. You can use as much as you need to, as often as you need to, and you're never going to overdose. The worst that happens is it's just a little overkill. You don't need that much. So those are the big takeaways of Antranex. It is our #1 fastest acting histamine relief tool. I do a seminar for doctors called Top 10 Standard Process Supplements That Work Quickly, and Antranex definitely makes the list. That's the nice thing about these allergy tools. You're going to know that you're on the right track with these if they work within the day that you take them. If there's no relief within that day, then you can either change something with the dosing or try a different formula. So the close cousin of Antranex is Hourplex. Now, I highlighted some key ingredients in here. You're going to see liver fat extract in the middle of this formula. That is Antranex. So the magic ingredient of Hourplex is Antranex, that histamine liver detox tool. But you can see there's a lot more food ingredients in this formula. So it's much more multi-purpose than Antranex. And the biggest thing to remember about Hourplex is this is a combination of 7 different standard process formulas, Antranex being one of them, for complete respiratory soothing and congestion support. So we don't just use it for allergies. We use it for that nagging cough after an infection. This is not, you won't find this in any standard process catalog or website, but I use this all the time for asthma because it's, as the highlighted ingredient says there, it's got lung protomorphogen, the most important standard process formula for strengthening these lungs. So for every kid with asthma, I'll have them on a minimum of 6 Hourplex. I highlighted an ingredient towards the very top of this formula, fenugreek seed. Now, the easy thing to remember about fenugreek is that is a mucus thinner. So when you've got really thick sinus congestion or just a lot of phlegm in the lungs that you're not able to, expectorate, that's where fenugreek is so powerful at high doses to thin that mucus. So again, the big takeaway notes for Hourplex: if airborne allergies are resulting in coughing or sinus congestion or just lung congestion, Hourplex is more likely to provide dramatic relief than Antranex. There's no set in stone rule between the two. And something I always mean to bring out when we're talking about Hourplex and Antranex, when in doubt, if you don't know which one to use both for a while. If you're in misery with histamine and you're just trying to get some relief quickly, try a little blend of both. But general rule of thumb, sneezing, itching, it's Antranex; coughing, congestion, Hourplex. Now, here's the second really important thing to remember about Hourplex. Because there are so many food ingredients in this formula, you're going to want to assume that the dosage is going to be pretty high right now in the spring for allergy relief. If you just have year-long allergies, but they're not too bad the rest of the year, 6 per day is a great maintenance dose. 6 per day is what I give kids for asthma on a maintenance dose, or people that just tend to have some sinus congestion. But right now during the spring, you want to dose high. And for adults, that's going to be at least 9 to 12 per day, sometimes higher. But my favorite dose of Hourplex for adults that are miserable with airborne allergies in the spring is 4 capsules 3 times per day. That's a very effective dose. And again, the third big thing to remember about Hourplex, it's not just for allergies. We love it for airborne allergies, but it's comprehensive lung and sinus congestion relief and can be used for support following respiratory infections, congestion, cough, again, asthma, anytime you're just trying to clear that mucus and soothe respiratory tissue. So 99% of the time, when somebody comes in right now with airborne allergy symptoms, it's going to be either Antronix or Hourplex or a combination of both if that's necessary. And vast majority of times, it's going to get the job done. But there's always going to be that 1 out of 10 person that I give them Antronix and or Hourplex, and they'll come back and say, yeah, it helped a little bit, but I'm still sneezing or congestion, itching, watery eyes. And that's where Allergy is just a beautiful Plan B formula. This is a MetaHerb product. It's only been around for a couple of years, but works phenomenally well with Antronix and Hourplex, and especially when those are not getting the job done on their own. It's got a different mechanism of action than Antronix and Hourplex. Those two formulas primarily are supporting detox of histamine from the liver. Allergy works on the mast cells, the white blood cells that release histamine. So again, when Antronix and Hourplex aren't doing what they're supposed to do, Allergy is your secret weapon. You don't have to dose very high on this. Usually 4 tablets is the max. It's simple formula. Albizia, that's a histamine relief tool. Chinese skullcap, another herb for histamine regulation. And this is the biggest thing I wanted you to know about Allergy. The magic ingredient of this formula is black cumin seed, or you may have heard of black seed oil. This is a phenomenal herb for not just airborne allergies, but supporting liver health, blood sugar, digestion, blood sugar, cholesterol, those metabolic problems that are so rampant in the American population. I use a lot of black cumin seed for that. So something to consider is if Allergy works really well for your airborne allergies, like if that's the magic formula for you, you may want to consider after the springtime madness is over, staying on 1 tablet, not of Allergy, but of black cumin seed, because it's so multi-purpose. It's going to keep those airborne allergies in check throughout the whole year, but it's going to give you a lot more health benefits than just say taking something like Antronix. Antronix is phenomenal for what it does to get histamine under control, but that's really all it does. It's a histamine relief tool. The beauty of black cumin seed is it doesn't just do one thing well. It's really good for histamine in airborne allergies, but it's blood sugar, digestion, cholesterol, just a lot of things going on with black cumin seed. If you want a fun Google search, just Google health benefits of black cumin or black seed oil, and that will keep you busy for a long time. So again, big takeaways for Allergy. Works on different histamine mechanisms than Antronix and Hourplex. So I always try those two first, but if they don't work, we go to Allergy. It's my favorite Plan B formula if Antronix and Hourplex do not provide fast, miraculous benefits for allergy symptoms. And then if Allergy works really well for you, consider taking 1 tablet per day of black cumin seed, the main ingredient of Allergy, on a maintenance basis, just for the whole year. It's an awesome health maintenance and allergy maintenance tool. So that's it, guys. These are the big 3. If you know how to use these 3 during the spring, you're going to do all right. Remember, especially for Antronix and Hourplex, do not be afraid to dose high. I have some people tell me, well, I tried those and they didn't work. And it's because they didn't use a high enough dose or they didn't dose it frequently enough in the day. If you do that, you're going to get phenomenal results. So I hope that gives you some confidence to put the Claritin away. You don't need it if you know how to use these tools. And if you're on the right track with these, again, you should notice almost instant relief that day. If you have any questions, just email me, give the office a call. Happy to walk you through anything, any questions that you have about these formulas. We've been using these for 25 years. They are the bread and butter, fast airborne allergy relief tools in the spring. So thanks for joining tonight, and we'll see you guys next Monday.